Oh, we gotta get the
Oh,
you good.
perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. Get Instagram going here as well. You guys know the deal. Turn off my fan, actually. It's pretty loud. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Let some people get in here first. Welcome back. Welcome. Instagram's hooked up. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another UFC Insider Betting. We do this show weekly, going over whichever UFC card is coming up. This week, we have UFC 108 Fight Night in Vegas. Tatsuro Taira versus Hung Sung Park. Last minute change because Amir Abazi had to pull out. He wasn't cleared by the doctors, but we got a new main event. First ever 2 Asian main eventers. Pretty cool. I'm excited for this card. We've seen some fights fall out. We've seen some fights get rebooked. We got Austin Bashi, who's a fan of the show, on the prelims. Nathan Fletcher, who's really close with Mike Owens, our reporter. And then some bangers, I think, on this main card. It should be some exciting fights. Some Argentinians on this card, bro. So represent for you this week.
Do we ever?
I love seeing some Ukrainians on the card. So we got some Argentinians on the card for Adam this week. I'm excited for it. Let's hop into the first card on the main card. First fight on the main card.
Let's do it.
See how you feel about it. Your first Argentinian holding it down, starting off.
Bro, I should have. I honestly, I obviously knew there was gonna be Argentinian fighters, but then as soon as you said it, I was like, oh man, I should have worn my jersey today.
Should have worn the jersey, bro. Should have represented.
Fuck, next time.
I think they're gonna do well. We'll see.
I think so too. This fight, I'm a lot more confident on the Esteban Ribovic fight, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Kevin Vallejos taking on, or in Argentina it'd be Vallejos, is taking on Danny Silva over here. One thing I like about Kevin is that he is super active on Twitter, or X, and he's been tweeting a lot about this fight. He's already said that this guy's going to be his toughest opponent yet, which I like seeing from a prospect, because if you come into a fight too cocky early on in your career, we've seen it backfire a lot for these prospects, especially in 2025, especially when he's such a big favorite. He's 4-1 favorite here. But right after that tweet, he also tweeted out saying that he feels better than ever for the fight too. So he's playing both sides of the coin here, which I'm okay with. He's coming off of his UFC debut win, which was a first round win by knockout, which was very nice to see. He's got 11 knockout wins out of his 15 fights, or 15 wins, which is cool. His only loss as a professional was on his first attempt on Contender Series, which came up against Jean Silva, which is cool because we're obviously seeing into what Jean Silva has turned into in the UFC. So if that means anything for Kevin, he's got to do some good things, I think. Two super high volume strikers, which is pretty nuts. You got Danny Silva sitting right above 7 strikes per minute, while Kevin Vallejos is just under 7 strikes per minute. But the main difference is that Danny Silva gets hit a lot. He gets hit more than he hits, and that's crazy when you're landing 7 strikes a minute. So I think that's going to play into Kevin Vallejos' advantage. I think he's just going to be able to hit Danny Silva too much. Kevin is fast. He's shifty. I think he's going to be able to get in those pockets to hit him. And I don't know, Kevin Vallejos was tweeting that apparently there's some rumors that Danny Silva won't make weight. And if that happens, it could change up this fight a little bit. Apparently, if he doesn't make weight, he doesn't know if the fight's going to happen anyway. But obviously, if you can't make weight, you're either going to be really bad because you had a bad weight cut and you're really feeling really drained, or you got a little bit more pounds on you. You're a little bit stronger, so you hit a little bit harder. I do think this should be an easy win for Kevin. So I think it's his fight to lose, and I'm picking the 4-1 favorite over here to get the W.
Awesome. I really like that you're representing first the Argentina, didn't pick against your guy. That's great. Reading into the X tweets, I like it and I don't like it. You know, anyone could say what they want on the internet. He is tweeting a bunch where we're seeing nothing from Danny Silva. This guy isn't as big as a prospect as Kevin Vallejos. Kevin Vallejos is making statement wins in the first round. He's coming in and he's doing his thing, and he went 3 rounds with Jean Silva. Like, the guy's an absolute dog. I'm probably leaning towards him too. I just don't see that there's any area of Danny Silva could beat him in this fight. I mean, he's not going to take him down and he's not going to outstrike him. His output won't be as much as Kevin Vallejos, which is similar to why I might be picking the other Argentinian in his matchup. But output is key. I don't see him losing the decision. I don't see him getting submitted. I don't see him getting finished. He's stronger. He's faster. There's more on the line for him. This is a setup fight. Although I do like Danny Silva, he's a taller, rangier featherweight. I like the tall, rangy guys. They're hard to take down as well. But this one's going to be staying on the feet. And if you have to put money on somebody, it's Kevin Vallejos, probably by knockout. I think he's going to live up to the hype here, live in the moment, and get a big win. He's kind of lining himself up to get performance bonuses, to get into the rankings, to call out opponents, which is sweet. If he hops on the mic and he gets a first round knockout and he calls out somebody, he could even call out Gene Silva and kind of get back into that trajectory if he has these performance wins, which we've seen Gene Silva do. And now he's fighting for a number one contender fight against Diego Lopez. So I see the same sort of trajectory for Kevin Vallejos, and he has to get it done against Danny Silva. Although Danny Silva needs a win in his career right now too, it's not going to come over somebody as surging as Kevin Vallejos. So bad matchup, unfortunately, for Danny Silva. Kevin Vallejos, big favorite for a reason. I'm going to be probably putting him in my parlay. Feeling good about it too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that for him, like the tweeting, I know how it's a pro and a con. To be fair, he tweets a lot before every single fight, even after his loss to Gene Silva. So It's not like he's doing something that he doesn't normally do. So I'll give him that. But who knows? I think that if he wins here, if he gets another first round KO, he'll probably have to fight one more guy outside of the top 15 and then get another knockout. But if that happens, if he gets 3 knockouts in a row, you could be seeing him fighting someone in the top 15, honestly. Like someone like Dan Ige could be a good matchup for him. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, he's so marketable. I really like him too.
Yeah. Well, the guys that talk a lot are marketable, right?
Exactly.
Next up, we got Neil Magny taking on Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, a mouthful, under 1.5. 100%. Yeah, I agree with David in the Instagram chat. I think under 1.5 rounds for the Kevin Vallejos fight is pretty locked. Not really typical for Neil Magny. He's known for his gatekeeper status, but this time he's fighting someone his own age. He's fighting someone who also is a UFC vet. And I think it's because he's had a couple of really rough fights. He got absolutely laid out by Carlos Prates in his last fight. Knockout, when you first saw it, it didn't even make sense until you watched the replay and saw that he hit him. I think he hit him with a setup shot because he went with the power shot after, which is what you thought would knock him out. But his setup shot got Neil Magny just fucking cold.
He stays so open. It's so frustrating watching him fight because you're like, oh, please get into the second round, Neil Magny, and he doesn't. And it's just so sad.
Yeah, so bad knockout there. He also got finished by Michael Morales in the fight before that. Also a knockout. It was more of like a TKO ground and pound style where he just wasn't like Michael Morales was on his back, just bashing his head, and the ref had to stop the fight. So not as bad. But at 37 years old, getting knocked out in back-to-back fights, you'd assume he's getting a little chinny. I don't know, man. I don't know. The one thing here is that
under 1.5, 100% in the Instagram chat. That's not bad.
I think that was for the Kevin Vallejos fight. That's what I was saying before. Yeah. I don't think this fight's gonna go under 1.5. I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be a little bit of a close fight. I think what needs to happen is Zaleski has to keep this fight on the feet. I think he has to avoid the clinch. He's got to avoid the ground game, and he'll be on his way to win. He's got more power. I think he can outbox Neil Magny, and then eventually he'll just land the knockout strike, especially when this guy's coming off of 2 knockout losses. So yeah, I got Dos Santos, but somewhat of an even fight. You'd assume like they're both pretty well-rounded. The fight could go either way, but I just think Dos Santos probably has it over him.
Neil Magny scares me, man. Like, you're right. He has to kind of get in the clinch, look for takedowns and stuff. But I think with his experience of getting knocked out and fighting these Ian Garys, Michael Morales, Carlos Prates, these really scary guys in his division, hopefully he's learned from those losses and he could be more patient, stay on the outside, use his range, use his distance, and be the smarter fighter in this matchup. If he does that, he could cruise his way to a win. I'm saying that because I think he could control this fight. I don't see, pardon my name pronunciation here, Elazu Zaliski dos Santos being in the center of the octagon for the whole
It's
15
like you don't
minutes.
even listen to how I say the names. You're just like, I'm gonna wing it.
Every time.
Every
Say it
time.
again. Elizu.
Elizu
Elizu Zaleski.
Dos Santos.
I'm gonna call him Dos Santos. Okay. Anyways, so I
There
don't
you
see
go.
him being
Keep
in the
going.
center of the ring this whole 15 minutes of this fight, backing down Neil Magny. Neil Magny is gonna have to be the one putting the pressure, controlling the distance, walking him down. If he could do that, we could see a scarier version of Neil Magny. He came on to Inside Fighting, said that he wants to show off a bigger, badder version of himself, make people believe in this fight, show like who he really is in this division, which I think he can against somebody like this, who's not the biggest, most surging prospect, although it's like he is kind of just as good as Neil Magny, if not better. So it is scary. He is plus money. You're gonna have to risk it on this one. You're gonna have to sweat that first round. You're gonna have to clinch them cheeks, boys. But I'm rooting for Neil Magny. I think this is a good fight for him. I hope he gets it done. I don't know if he gets a knockout. Probably not. But I'm hoping he could land more, not get hurt as much or as badly, show that he has a good chin, have some big moments, and we could go, holy crap, Neil Magny is back, just as he said on our show. I'm rooting for it. He's in my parlay.
I'd love to see it. I just don't see it happening. We got David in the chat saying this fight's going the distance. If it goes the distance, I think Neil Magny wins this fight. He's only lost by decision 3 times, but he's got 10 losses. So he's got seven losses by finish.
He's not going to get tired in the third round. He's just not. He's going to put out more output.
I don't think he's going to get tired. The question is, can he avoid getting knocked out? And I don't know if he can.
Is he going to put himself in bad positions in that first round? Is he going to be going to shoot 2 or 3 takedowns? Is he going to be throwing insane 4, 5, 6 punch combos? Or is he going to stick to his 1-2 jab and stay leg kicking and down the middle, stay sharp? That's what he has to do. He has to be smart, show that he is a technical guy like these Carlos Prateses, like the Ian Garys, like the Michael Moraleses. He's fought those guys. He should be in the same category as those guys, but nobody respects him. Nobody does. Everyone thinks he's going to get chinned here in the first, second round, not go the distance. I think Neil Magny could get it done by decision. I really do.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I could see this fight going either way. So it looks like we're split.
We're kind of counting him out like Michael Johnson against Daniel Zellhuber, and I don't like that.
You're right. Next up, we got Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa, I guess, taking on Nora Cornol. I don't really know.
Cornol sounds mint. Sounds good.
Cornol sounds right, but it could be like a Carnole or who knows. Anyway,
I wouldn't
either. But it's a bit of a vet versus up and comer fight coming up, even though Nora is 5 years older than Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa's been in the UFC for a while. She's got a lot of fights under her belt, very experienced. Nora is only 9-2. She's only got 11 professional fights under her belt. And she's 3-1 in the UFC currently, riding a 1-win streak. She won her last fight. She lost the one before that to Jacqueline Cavalcati, but won the 2 fights before that. Carol Rosa, she's coming off a decision loss to Eileen Perez. I think Carol, she's very well-rounded. And when you look at the graphics on screen here, you can see that she's better than her in literally every single stat except for height. But what the graphics don't show you is that Carol Rosa can't really get a finish to save her life. She's got 12 decision wins and 18 wins. She's got 4 knockouts and 2 submissions in there as well, where you got Nora, on the other hand, who's got only one of her wins went to decision. She's got 6 knockouts and 2 submissions, giving her 8 finishes in her 9 wins. So I think what she does is she goes for the finish a lot. I think she tries to go for the damage. And I think that might be the key to this fight. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see Carol. She's going to take it a little easy. She's going to try to win round by round. She might not put her foot on the gas. She might try to hold her up against the cage. She might try to take her down a couple times and kind of hold her there, get control time, and win rounds that way. But I think what could kind of weigh against her, and we've kind of seen it in Vegas before, is that they take damage into account a lot of the time. And I think that if Nora can land a few shots, maybe cut Carol up a little bit, it could persuade the judges to give her some of the rounds, because if Carol Rosa holds Nora down for 2-3 minutes of the round, but then Nora gets up and she lands 2-3 big strikes and kind of rocks Carol, who wins that round? Pretty 50-50. Judges could be persuaded to give it to Nora. I do think the fight goes to decision. We got Dave in the chat saying Rosa by KO/TKO. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe in your picks.
You gotta believe.
Hey, stand on it, bro. Neil is a veteran. He has the one. They're also close in age. Neil by decision, like that too.
Yeah. Neil by decision, I can get behind. But anyway, I think the game changer here is going to be if Nora can land the big shots, if she can get the damage, if she can kind of edge out these close rounds by landing the bigger shots. And I think she can. I think she just she's more hyped to be here. Carol's kind of gone through it before. She's lost to some of the bigger names in the women's bantamweight division. She's lost to Eileen Perez, Irene Aldana, and Norma Dumont. She's lost to kind of people that are up there above her. I don't know if she has that same drive that someone like Nora, who's like very young in her career in a sense, even though she's older than Carol, has. I think it'll be the difference maker. I think we're going to see the first upset on this card or on the main card, and I think Nora's going to get the win here.
Oof. Hard disagree. I think Nora's not a top 10 fighter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Women's bantamweight. Carol Rosa coming off of a loss to Eileen Perez. That's correct?
Yeah, decision loss.
So coming off of loss to future champion Eileen Perez. I'm a big Eileen Perez guy.
Another Argentinian, man. Give me an Argentinian champion. I want to see it.
I'm a big Eileen Perez guy. And
nobody just likes her post-fight celebrations. That's all.
Hey, I like a lot of things about
for that.
I like a lot of things about her, and I'd be very supportive and like all of her photos on Instagram. Not anything creepy about that. Just a big fan, big supporter. I think she's going to be a future champion. That being said, Carla Rosa went the distance with her, was able to get out of ground control and things that Eileen put her in dangerous positions, and she got out of all of that. Wasn't necessarily a big threat to her, which means I think she could hang with some of the bigger girls in the division, and Nora is not that. I think Nora's slowing down, and yeah, I just don't believe in Nora at all. I think this one is going to go the distance. I think that's a lock. It's a female 3-round fight. It's going to go the distance. I think Carla Rosa is going to win a decision here. You're really gambling on the fact that Nora might be able to hurt her. I just don't see that happening in women's bantamweight. I don't see that happening in women's bantamweight. I'm sorry, but Nora, if you do something impressive, awesome. But I mean, her last win was against Haley something. It was at UFC 314, and she got a good submission.
Yeah, Haley Cowan.
Yeah, Haley Cowan. She was more of a gymnast in her career than an MMA artist, martial artist, and Nora couldn't put it away in the first round, took to the second round, and I don't know. It's just I don't see her in the top 10. I don't see her against real MMA, deep MMA martial artists, and Carla Rosa has definitely shown that she can hang with some of the top elite girls in the division. So I'm going to lean Carla Rosa by decision here. I don't think either of these girls are a threat on the feet to put each other's lights out or anything crazy like that. They're both going to be grappling, looking for submissions, and Carla Rosa is just a little bit bigger and better in those positions. So I see her winning this one pretty fairly, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see it happening. This fight specifically is the biggest toss-up I got on the card. In my notes before we jumped on, I literally had in there that I don't like chasing, so I'm gonna go with Carol Rosa. But I'm a gambling man. We played some poker last night. I'm here to chase.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that. I was up about $50, right? 50 bones. Yeah. And then we played for like another hour, and all gone.
Tough. Yeah, we don't talk
too many $150s. They just kept getting me in, bro, and I kept getting in, calling. But yeah, that was a fun night.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I feel I'm a gambling man this weekend. I don't know what to tell you.
Me too, but I'm winning. We were 5 for 5 last week. Come on, a 6 for 6 with Bryce Mitchell in the prelims. Let's continue some momentum, bro. We got
You're
this.
right. You're right. Feature fight of the night, the one I'm probably most excited for. We got Elvis Brenner taking on Esteban Ribovic. Ribovic is coming off of a split decision loss to Nasrat Hakparast, which snapped. I think that was on the money. I don't know, bro. Snapped his 3-fight win streak. And this fight just feels like it's going to be a brawl, man. I don't know. When you look at these stats, Ribovic has the clear edge on the feet, and Elvis Brenner has the clear edge on the ground. But I think Esteban Ribovic's ground game is a little overlooked. He's got a decent submission game with 5 submissions in his 14 wins. He's got good takedown accuracy at 66%. He just doesn't shoot a lot of takedowns if you've watched his past fights, and his takedown defense is sitting at 63%. So I think he can avoid getting taken down, especially considering Elvis Brenner's takedown accuracy is only 23%. And I think if they're on the ground, I think he can hang, and I think he can get back up on his feet. I just think he prefers fighting on the ground because he prefers dog fights. What worries me is that he likes dog fights. If you watch his fight against Daniel Zellhuber, I was there at the Sphere. I watched that fight. Ribovic was piecing him up the entire fight. He was getting confident. He was going for more, and then he got rocked. And it looked like he might get knocked out. He got back up on his feet and kept fighting. That's the toughness he has in him. But that's kind of what worries me with a guy like Elvis Brenner. You look at the size of the guy's head, coming from a guy with the big head. It's going to be hard to knock out. And that worries me. But I do have Esteban Ribovic winning. I just think being a 2-1 favorite might be a little bit much, even though Elvis Brenner hasn't really fought anyone too crazy. But at the same time, neither has Esteban Ribovic. So a bit of a weird fight. I got Ribovic, but it's closer than the odds say. Like, he should not be a minus 250 favorite, I don't think.
I agree and disagree. I think Elvis, his best chance is in the first round. His best chance is in the opening exchange to land something that rocks him and take advantage of that and try to go for a finish, try to get it to the ground and try to lock in something. Esteban Ribovic, he's knocked out Terrence McKinney in the first round. He's won decisions, and his output is insane in fights. His last fight, yeah, he lost that fight. I thought he won, but I think he had over 450 strikes. Swear to God, I got new tape today. That pissed me off. Okay. Stick with this. We'll move over a bit. All right, there. But I like his output. He has insane output in fights. That Daniel Zellhuber fight was a complete war. He came back. He won that fight. He turns it on in the third round. The longer this fight goes, the harder it is for Elvis to get a win here. So I think his best chance is in the first round. I understand the odds because, dude, who else is throwing 450 strikes in a match? It's like there's no chance for him to win a decision here. Absolutely zero chance Elvis is winning a decision. He's got to get it done by finish. I don't think he finds it. We've seen him get hurt in his last fight, Esteban, and we've seen him also hurt people really, really bad. And dude just does not slow down his pace. He just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. He's been hurt in fights. He's came back. He's hurt fighters, and he hasn't been able to put them away. But I think this is one of those fights where he might be able to hurt him and put him away. I see him getting the finish here. I understand the odds because I think Vegas knows he's going to get a knockout here.
I'd love to see a knockout, especially because both of his last 2 fights went to split decision.
I think he's aware of that too. I don't think he wants another split. I don't think he wants to sweat the judges. I think he's really going to put those. Dude, if you throw 400 strikes per fight, he is going to be looking for that knockout, and I think he finds his chin here.
Yeah. He's been on both ends of the judges. He's been on the end where he won a split decision and when he's lost a split decision. But yeah, the guy lands a lot. Like that fight, like that last fight, he landed 147 and got hit 134 times.
I couldn't believe he lost that last fight. I couldn't believe it.
So that one takedown in there probably persuaded the judges.
It was
taken down once. But anyway, going to the co-main event, we have Mateus Rebecki versus Chris Duncan. Like you said, Chris Duncan is a good friend of the show. He's a good friend of our head reporter, Mike Owens. And this is another Dog fight.
Ribovic by
um,
KO or TKO. Yes, that is my play. But yes, this
yeah,
is a huge dog fight. I love this fight.
big dog fight. We've seen Chris Duncan look like he's going to lose a fight a couple times, and then out of nowhere he comes back and he wins. He's a very tough fighter. But then with Rebecca, you literally just have to watch his last fight against Orlai, which was an absolute war. Just to see how tough this guy is. Like that both of those guys' faces look deformed after that fight. I think they're both super well rounded. I think Mateusz Rebecki takes the slight edge in everything. But I think they're both just like very even. And I have Rebecki winning. I think he's going to win. I think we've seen him hang in fights like this. But I'm probably going to stay away from it because I do see a way. I think it's so even that Chris Duncan could get a win, but I got Rebecca here.
I see everyone picking Mateusz Rebecki. Everybody. And I'm just and it's making me like have to rethink Chris Duncan a little bit, but I do believe in him. I really do. He trains at America Top Team. He's not one of these Swedish guys who fights in a small Swedish gym in the middle of nowhere. He fights American Top Team with really, really good guys. He keeps improving his game. He gets stronger. He gets faster. Rebecki is a dog. You look at his last fight and you're like, I could literally not put money against this guy. I have to bet on this guy. He's such a warrior. He's so high class. He's really good, right? I think this one starts on the feet. I think this first round it's Rebecki's. And then Chris Duncan's like, holy shit. I felt every one of those punches, and he just resorts to desperation takedown attempts. And I think he gets it. And I think he might get a guillotine choke, or I think he might get a Darce choke or something, some sort of choke. Although Rebecki's got a little beard and a small neck, Chris Duncan's small. I think he finds his way to the neck and locks in a submission. I feel Chris Duncan's submission here is a sneaky play and one that I might just be betting straight up. I'm not sure the odds on that if you could look, but I really do like Chris Duncan by submission. And if I had to bet, probably would do Rebecca KO, but I'm gonna lean Chris Duncan and just believe in his training, believe in his improvements, believe that he can climb up this division. Although Rebecca can too, I'm rooting for Chris Duncan in this one. This is my first underdog pick, I believe. I'm not. Oh no, I had Magny and Chris Duncan as my two underdogs. But
we got David in the chat going Chris Duncan by pure chaos.
Yes, I think he just he's going to make it so messy in the second, third round if it goes to the third, where Rebecca's just going to be throwing, and that momentum will be used against him, and Chris Duncan will figure out something crazy and just make it happen some way, somehow we're going to be like, holy shit, Chris Duncan got another submission. How do you do this? And I don't know, performance bonus of the night, maybe somehow, some way, arm bar or something crazy could be dope.
Yeah,
I see it. I see a
fight goes
submission.
to decision again. Both of these guys bloodied up, cut up, end of the fight, hugging it out.
True.
Could be a war.
This one could be fun. I like it as a co-main event.
Yeah, no, it's a good. Honestly, the last three fights are going to be all really fun to watch, I think.
Yeah, they could all go the distance as well, which is scary.
Yeah. Main event is definitely going to be the least fun of the last three. Brand new main event. Originally, it was supposed to be Tatsuro Taira versus Amir Albazi. Albazi pulled out because of UFC medical pulled him out. It wasn't like he didn't actually want to get pulled out of the fight. So it was probably some health related issue. I didn't look too much into it, but I'm sure by now it's probably been announced. Hyun Sung Park was supposed to fight next week, but was now called up for this week's main event a week early. You have Tatsuro Taira, who is coming off of his first professional loss to Brandon Royval. But now he's taking on Hyun Sung Park, who is an undefeated prospect. He's 10-0, and he's going to look to snap his zero for sure. Like I said, Hyun Sung Park, he's undefeated, and he's currently sitting at 3-0 in the UFC. He's a good grappler, has some pretty decent striking, but really the same thing can be said about Tatsuro Taira. I think this fight will probably come down to two things. Number one, I think Tatsuro Taira has been in tough fights before. He just lost a really close fight to Brandon Royval. where he was getting beat on the feet. And then he decided to switch it up, take the fight to the ground. I think he got like 5 or 6 takedowns in that fight. I could be wrong. I'm going to pull it up right now and check. But he just tried going the takedown route, still got the loss, but he's been in tough situations before, which is really important. Yeah, he had 6 takedowns versus Brandon Royval.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is that I don't think Hyun Sung Park is as good on his feet as Brandon Royval is. So I don't know. I don't think that's going to create as much issues for Tatsuro Taira. So that's number one. Number two, this is Park's first 5-round fight in the UFC. And he wasn't supposed to fight until next week. So it means he lost a week on his training camp, and it means he has to cut weight a week early to be able to make weight. Cutting weight, it's like a pure science with these guys in the UFC. And when you mess with the science, it could fuck up a lot of things for you. So the fact that it's his first 5-round fight, and the fact that it's an early weight cut, I think could drain him a little bit. The longer this fight goes, the more it favors Tatsuro Taira. I think Hyun Sung Park is just going to get drained. I like Taira. I think those 2 reasons are really important. And I think Tatsuro Taira gets the win unless Hyun Sung Park looks incredible in the first 2 rounds and is able to get like a knockout win. I don't like betting on that, especially considering that Taira went the distance with Brandon Royval. But who knows? It could happen.
Mm-hmm. Similar to like Azu versus Jose Chavez, I think last week. It was a good like striker versus wrestler kind of matchup there. And this one, I think Tatsuro Taira is just so good at wrestling, and Hyun Sung Park is just going to be trying to strike with the wrestler, and it's not going to work. I'm not mad at this main event, but like I would have picked Tatsuro Taira over Amir Albazi anyway. So now we got Hyun Sung Park, who's wasn't training for a grappler in his next fight. He was training for a striker, I believe, and now he's going to have to completely switch his game plan in this fight and his 5 rounds, and he wasn't training for a grappler and his 5 rounds. It's kind of a horrible matchup for him. So easy win for Tatsuro Taira. Probably going to take his back and get a rear naked choke in the first, second round. They hyped it up a bit. Undefeated fighter. He gets a chance to make a name. We probably would have never seen Hyun Sung Park in a main event ever, honestly. So this is a good opportunity.
He got a few more wins, but yeah.
This is a great opportunity for him to make a name for himself. Unfortunately, Tatsuro Taira is not that guy, pal. He's not that guy. Because he is that guy. He's really fucking good, man. And he's going to be explosive. He's going to get takedowns. He's going to find the neck. He's going to get a submission. How I want Chris Duncan to be, I wish Chris Duncan could fight the fight that Tatsuro Taira is going to fight in this fight. Just complete domination. I see Hyun Sung Park not even landing maybe over 10 strikes. If there's a betting site where you could bet the under on his significant strikes, I say bet the under. I think Tatsuro Taira really is that good. Is Hyun Sung Park even ranked?
No, he's not ranked.
He's an unranked, undefeated fighter. So
yeah. You know what though? I was there for Amir Albazi versus Brandon Moreno, and like I can guarantee that this fight is gonna be way more entertaining than Tatsuro Taira versus Amir Albazi would have been. Because Amir Albazi is the boring guy. So you get rid of the boring guy and you put someone in who's up and coming, is trying to prove himself. He's gonna go out swinging, and he's gonna get tired if he doesn't knock out Tatsuro Taira.
Oh yeah.
We have David in the chat on IG going that this fight's gonna end by knockout for Hyun Sung Park, and he's like, I'm predicting a lot of stoppages this fight. Please don't I think he said knockout for almost every fight.
I wish it was always like that, man. The prelims, some of the prelims are always knockouts, man. We're seeing more prelims be knockouts than main cards. I see some finishes on here. I think Tatsuro Taira is going to get one. I'm hoping for Chris Duncan. Esteban Rivovic, I think, could do it. I think Kevin Vallejos could do it. I want Neil Magny to do it. So I got my fingers crossed on finishes as well, but I always sit tight and watch the cards on Saturday, and I'm usually underwhelmed on the main card. And this isn't the most hype card in the world, so we're going to have to wait and see.
You know what happens when you think fights are going to go to finish? They all end up going to decisions. So
I know.
We'll see what happens. I do think there's a lot of chance for finishes here, but yeah, we'll see what happens. It should be a fun night.
Is this fight going 5 rounds? Hell no. Fuck no. It's not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I could lock that.
My bad, David. You did say it. You did say that Neil fight's going to go to the distance. I'll give you that. But anyway, next
Neil's
week
getting
we
knockout
got
first round. What are we saying?
who?
Neil Magny's getting a knockout first round. What are we even saying here?
Only first round KO on this card is Kevin Vallejos, guaranteed.
Esteban Rivovic. Close, man.
Esteban
I think
Rivovic could have a
that good.
knockout, but
I think he's that good.
first round.
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what
I'm
happens.
excited. I'm excited. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I think my parlay for this week is a 4-leg. I got 2 underdogs, Chris Duncan and Neil Magny, with the 2 Argentinians, Kevin Vallejos and Esteban Rivovic. So that's my parlay I'm rocking with. Just all money line straight up.
I like that. Next week's card looks a lot more boring than this week's card, unfortunately. Main event, Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. That fight's going to be by far better than any of the fights on this card. Co-main, Alex Perez versus Steve Urseg. You got a chick fight for the feature, and then everything else is kind of whatever. Should be some decent fights. We'll be live next week. Insider betting. We're live every single Thursday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this Saturday night, Cody Talks IF is gonna have a watch party. He's gonna go live. What time's the main card this week? 6?
8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll be live around then. And yeah, we'll be kicking it till like 12:30, just talking MMA, watching fights, placing bets, and probably losing like always. So unfortunate on my recent events, but
tune in to watch Cody get frustrated. That's all I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'd be raging on there.
Then,
I'd be raging.
Yeah. And then we got inside picks going live soon as well, right?
No inside picks this week. Unfortunately, Mike didn't make a new one.
Inside picks this week. Most Thursdays we have inside picks with Mike Owens that goes live at 4 p.m.
The one week you remember. No.
I know. I've been forgetting every week. Anyway.
But hey, we're 5 for 5 on our picks last week, both of us. So ride the picks you feel like.
6 if you count Bryce Mitchell, baby.
Exactly. So ride where you feel like we're most confident in. We're both on a heater right now. I think this week we could continue that momentum. I'm feeling confident in my picks. I know you're
split, man. We're a little split.
Yeah, you say your pick, and then you're like, I give you my take, and you're like, oh yeah, I can see that. So you're confident in your picks, though. I'm confident in my picks. We'll see who wins this week. I think I'm gonna beat you though.
The picks we're split on are the ones that are 50-50 fights, in my opinion. But
Becky Duncan,
I think you're wrong with
fight and Neil Magny fight. I think we're different on, right?
Neil Magny and the chick fight. Which one else?
Rebecca, and I picked Chris Duncan.
Oh, you picked Chris Duncan. Yeah, it's fair game. That's fair game.
Yeah. So.
But anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna get more fights right than Cody, but we'll see what happens Saturday night.
Who lasted longer in poker last night? This guy.
I'm a gambling man.
I'm a gambler.
Hey, at the end of the day, we both ended up losers last night. So maybe that'll still happen this week.
We'll see. Hopefully one of us could be a wiener.
Anyways, appreciate y'all. We'll be back next Thursday. Peace.
Peace.